Ramble.
Thank you to DoorDash, Upstart, Liquid IV, and Best Fiends for sponsoring today's episode of the TryPod.
Ladies and germs, today on the podcast, we are going to be doing a special sort of episode where
Was that the intro to the podcast, Miles? That was the most low energy bullshit I've ever heard.
Sorry,
Episode starts ramble.
Welcome to
Hey,
the
so
TryPod,
today on the
everybody.
podcast-
How we doing? What the hell's up? Welcome to the
There we go.
podcast. This week we're going to be doing a very special thing where one of the Try Guys is going to sort of make their own episode out of the shit. And this week it's Eugene. Eugene's got some very special plans for what this episode's going to be. Queen Eugene, go off.
It's my tripod today. I'm going to talk about something that no one else likes. That's right. It's the astrology pod. Signs, motherfuckers. Get ready to get celestial, you bitches.
Yeah. Absolutely go off.
No, not like this.
Wow.
And if you guys didn't hear last week, I have a brand new podcast called Guilty Pleasures that I host with my friends Kelsey Dara and Garrick Bernard. We talk about our favorite movies and TV shows. The first episode, which is about Twilight, is out right now. We're doing Bridgerton next week. We've got super fun guests coming on the weeks to come. So if you could, go give that some love. I think you're really going to enjoy it. I'm having so much fun doing that show. I want you guys on it every week with me because it's just
It's
a
very
blast.
fun. It's
Go
fun.
check it out. It's really funny.
It's quickly becoming my favorite, no offense, my favorite Try Guys thing to do. Because I just get to take time out of my week to watch a movie and then write jokes about it and then to fuck around for an hour and a half.
It's pretty fun.
Pretty good.
So astrology, Eugene, you are astrology king of the group. Ned famously not a fan, but what does
Not
that
a
mean that
fan.
this is the astrology pod? What are we doing?
Well, I actually charted your birth charts a while back. So I already have all of your signs. And I actually just last night did Miles' birth chart because it's going to include Miles as well. So I'm going to tell y'all all about you, things you don't even know. And then we're going to play a little game where we're going to see if the reality of what y'all think the answer to certain questions are of who is most likely to blank actually aligns with what I would say if I was just reading your chart.
Wow. All that and more on today's TryPod. Stay tuned.
Who doesn't have debt? It's tough, and last year showed us that you can really never know what life is going to throw at you. If you're using credit cards to pay for unexpected expenses, it can really be overwhelming to manage all of that debt. So take control with Upstart. You'll know exactly what to expect.
Upstart is a fast and easy way to get a personalized loan to pay off your debt all online. So whether it's credit cards or high interest debt or just other fixed expenses, they find smarter rates with trusted partners because they assess more than just your credit score, right? So they're looking at your whole person to try to figure out the best way to get you a good loan. So you can really get a good idea right now how much it's actually going to cost to get this loan. So it's a good way. You're arming yourself with information before you do it.
Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/tryguys. That's upstart.com/tryguys. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/tryguys.
Wow.
Nice.
And after everything, I'll say that makes sense because that's the only answer to astrology. I don't know much about astrology, but I've recently learned how to talk to anyone that does like astrology. You ask them something about their sign, and then they say something, you don't know what it means, but then you say, oh, that makes sense because of what I know about you. And then they'll start talking. And you just seem like you know what you're doing. Of like a Taurus is about being a bully boy Taurus is.
Ned, is that why you don't like astrology? Because you feel bullied by who you are astrologically?
Sure, Miles. Or maybe because
Wow.
I think it's all wishy-washy BS.
I want to know about the moons and the suns because there's like, oh, you're a this sign, but you're also a this sign. And I just don't understand. I guess it has to do with morning and night births. stuff like that. Which, do you know what time we were born, Eugene? Should we tell you that? Do you need that info?
Well, I did ask you that a few years ago when I did your birth charts. So I already have that information, but you do need to have your exact time of birth to do your birth chart.
So you just did this for us as friends and kept this info and didn't tell it. This feels invasive. This feels...
I like it.
I could have been using this information to change the way I live my life.
So wait, you just kind of
That's true.
secretly get this information, and then Eugene is like, now I know how to deal with Keith, because I have this birth chart.
Maybe.
Zach, this is the opposite of invasive. This is the heavens.
That's
this
right.
is written in the stars, baby.
Well, let's dive in. Who are we going to start
Get
with?
into it.
I'm excited.
Well, I think the audience should know a few things first. So I'm
Yes.
focusing primarily on your 3 most important signs, which is your sun sign, your rising sign or ascendant, and your moon sign.
There's more
So-
than 3?
Oh yeah, you have one for every planet.
What's the main sign that we all, like, that the layperson knows? Like, I'm a Leo, right? Is that my sun sign?
That is your sun sign. So your sun sign is the one that you most commonly associate with. It's just basically where your birthday is. You open up the newspaper or the vlog and you see the signs. That's your sun sign.
Okay, nice.
I don't believe in this stuff typically, but a friend of mine did it in college for us, and we were all like, oh shit, this is a game changer. I believe
fun
it.
to
So I'm
pretend.
open. I want to know. Hit me with this wonderful signage.
I personally don't really believe in it, but I think it's a great way to examine oneself because you're looking at yourself critically and comparing yourself to human characteristics. So I think it's kind of like a fun form of therapy.
To me, it's like I get to figure out sort of Avatar: The Last Airbender style which powers I have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get cool associations with nature and mythology.
That's good.
Okay, so,
So-
sorry, moon, and other sign.
So starting with sun, sun represents like your inner self. Think of what the sun actually is. It's the core. So this is the driving force of your being. So think of the sun as basically your center. And so when you talk about the rising sign or ascendant, that is like the outward face or first impression you might have on someone. So it's like your shell, the guys you put upon for the world. So often people might mistake you for your rising sign because people don't immediately see your sun sign. And then your moon sign, if the ascendant is like, what's outward facing, the moon is inward. It's like the shadow. So that's like your emotive, intuitive, secret self that guides a lot of your internal desires.
I feel like Keith's is all going to be the same. His inner, his outer, and his true are all going to be one
No,
thing.
true is the secret. I'm excited to find out if it's right.
But they're all just called Keith.
Yeah. Keith's
I'm
sign.
a rising Keith.
I'm a rising Keith. So essentially, one's like a secret sign, one's a regular sign, and one's kind of a like, once you get to know me, you get to know this sign.
Think of it like first impression, secret, and just your inner self, your personality.
Gotcha.
I'm curious,
personality.
Eugene. I know that this is like a fun thing, but have you ever done someone's birth chart and it changed? Like, oh my God, I get you now. Like, did it like radically change the way you interact or understand somebody ever?
Maybe you.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! Yeah!
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Yours is very telling, and I think we're gonna get into that right now.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I consent.
So we should start off with the basics, which most people probably know if you have followed us. Zach is a Leo. These are the sun signs. Ned and Keith are both Geminis. Miles is a Virgo, and I am a Capricorn. So these are our sun signs. We have a heavy Gemini presence in the Try Guys, which makes total sense. Gemini tend to be very fun-loving. So I think that really fits the brand. Now, I think it'll be best to go individually just so that we can really dissect the traits of each person.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt, Eugene, but I need more there because to be honest, I already forget what everyone else is, and I don't know what those signs mean. Like, I know what Leo means because that's what I am, but when you said
Okay.
Virgo is fun-loving, I'm like, oh, cool. I don't.
That's
Am I alone
so
here?
Leo of you, Zach. Just like totally taking over Eugene's episode. He had a plan. And now you're like, can we do my plan?
Ned, I know you're being sarcastic, but that's actually correct about Leos.
Hell yeah.
If you need a basic rundown of your sun signs, I can just give you like a bullet point list of some traits that you can just say, okay, I get a general understanding of what they're associated with. Let's start with Keith and Ned. So you're both Gemini. Your sun signs are Gemini, which means on the positive side, you are enthusiastic, outgoing, social. You could have a sense of childlike innocence. Geminis tend to be very smart and clever and have a great time at parties, and they tend to need stimulation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then,
Two very different types of stimulation
Describe
between
all
those
of us,
boys.
but sure.
think about me, that's not me.
That's not
And
you,
then
that's not.
the negative side of Geminis is they tend to be indecisive or anxious, judgmental. They can be inconsistent, impulsive, superficial, and manipulative. They can be very manipulative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
Sure.
And remember, this is your sun. This is your sun sign. This is your just inner guiding true north, right? So this isn't necessarily the face you put on for the world or your deep emotional side.
Right. So if it doesn't make sense to you now, just wait. There's more.
Absolutely.
You describe me as manipulative then?
Sometimes.
I'm not saying all Geminis are manipulative. I'm saying these are traits that sometimes are associated with these signs.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. You did sort of get my social security number, all my bank routing stuff. So in a way, manipulative.
Exactly.
In a way, you're my boss. So
that's
you have
true.
that stuff.
So Zach, for a Leo, Zach says sun sign Leo. Positive traits for a Leo tend to be that they're very confident, they're generous, determined, protective. They like leadership positions. They're honest, very likable, and tend to be kind. On the negative side of Leo, they can be very self-centered, arrogant, approval-seeking, dramatic. They can be really lazy. They can be
like me at all.
very naive and very jealous of others.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. Wow. How about that?
Yeah.
Sounds like ding, 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 ding all the way across the board.
Ding dang dong, as they say.
Ding, dang, dong, sing, sang, song, bing, bang, bong. Miles, for a Virgo.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. Here come the
I don't know this
waterworks,
one.
baby.
Okay, positive traits of a Virgo. They are hardworking. They're both very creative, but also logical.
Really good at producing
okay.
podcasts.
Thank you very much.
They're very critically minded, reliable. They have a natural sense of humility and independence, I would say, about Virgos.
Okay, yeah. Seems fine.
And then their negative traits.
That's not true.
What
Although
the fuck's
using my
up,
advice
Humility
is
Nation?
self-deprecating to a degree, so sure, I'll take
I
it.
would say, remember, guys, this is your true self, not your outward self.
See, that's true.
Right.
See, it's your true self.
So your negative traits, you can be stubborn,
Yeah.
you overthink.
Uh-huh.
Virgos are like really sensitive. They're easily annoyed.
Absolutely.
They get really picky.
Yes, I mean,
they
yeah.
worry a lot.
For sure.
And
yeah.
they are notoriously known to be perfectionists in their private lives.
You know, it's fun. You know, it's fun in games to be like, "Oh, astrology's not real." But yeah, absolutely, all this shit, right? Like, I'm obviously a perfectionist. I absolutely get annoyed easily. Yeah, all that stuff is. I mean, I would say true.
I feel like you're slowly undressing us in a way that like makes me wildly uncomfortable. Like you are just peeling away, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Eugene just wrote down stuff about us that he's noticed. He's not following a chart. He's just like, yeah, flaws.
Should I undress myself too, or should I just undress y'all?
I think it would be
Yeah.
only fair if you undressed
You need
yourself.
to.
I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
I'm
so
desperate to understand you better.
I'm a notorious Capricorn. So Capricorns are known for
Makes sense.
being ambitious, pragmatic, disciplined, very like sharp, biting sense of humor, wise, and classy. Those are usually the things people think about.
Hot,
Capricorns.
sexy, steamy. Yeah, that's fair.
And then negatives about Capricorns is they can be very controlling. They
Too
can
hot
be
for their own good. Yeah.
Capricorns can be brutal when they're mad, very stubborn, sometimes emotionally cold, bit of a know-it-all, but also very skeptical and extremely unforgiving.
Oh, your negatives sound badass.
Yeah, just like a supervillain.
Sounds stone cold.
Super villain, cool.
I want your negatives.
So I guess apologies to all the listeners who aren't any of the signs that get included, but that's for another time. I do want to go to the rising signs because this is what people might think of you when they see you or what you outwardly try to project.
This is so exciting. It's 2021, especially after last year. I think a lot of us were looking for some opportunities to start fresh, start anew. I know that I have been trying to be fitter this year. And one of the best ways we stay hydrated is with Liquid IV. Basically, it's a powder. You mix it into your water. It gets you more hydrated. It tastes good. It makes you feel better. They have a green tea one. Becky and I have been using it. Also, sometimes we add in some pineapple juice. We just sort of it's just a fun afternoon drink that hydrates you. There's lots of other flavors too. There's watermelon, lemon lime, passion fruit. They got strawberry.
It's an easy and fast hangover cure because it gives you the same hydration as drinking 2 to 3 bottles of water alone. And it contains 5 essential vitamins, more vitamin C than an orange, and as much potassium as a banana.
You can get it a lot of places, but you can grab your strawberry Liquid IV or any other great flavor in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code TRYGUYS at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code TRYGUYS at liquidiv.com. Get better hydration today at liquidiv.com, promo code TRYGUYS.
Okay.
Cool.
So Keith, we just went over it. Your rising sign is actually Capricorn.
Oh, okay.
What? I'm actually the hot one? Everyone thinks I'm hot. Everybody thinks I'm hot and classy? Well, that's awesome. Wait, so that's determined by when I was born? Or the time?
Yeah, so it's the time of birth, and the ascendant is the sign that's on the horizon as you're born. So that changes through the day.
Oh, cool.
So what traits of mine outwardly do you think expressly are Capricorn? Because I don't think that I have an outward Capricorn, but maybe I do.
I think this is one that I would not have guessed. I think you certainly scream sort of fun outwardly, but knowing you, I would say that you are actually way more serious and somewhat dry when you're not on camera, more so than even Ned or Zach. So I think that there is something there. You are actually quite staid as a personality. Sorry if this is spilling tea for the audience, but
I love it.
You're quite a stable force when we're socializing. You're not running amok.
It's true.
You're the one just kind of sitting around, either cooking or working on something or making sure people are doing their shit. You organizing stuff. So I could see that.
Stuff.
I could see that if I didn't know of your internet personality.
Okay, that makes sense.
And also, whenever you're not wearing hoodies on camera, you bust this off back into the 3-piece suit. So
That's true.
A very classy
That's
right.
individual.
Yeah,
I don't know why you don't
warm
share it with the
in
audience.
suit and hoodie right now.
I will say, I do like astrology in that it is sort of take a penny, leave a penny, where you're okay, yeah, I am pretty hot. I'm not that organized.
Yeah, it's true. If something doesn't make sense, you can just connect the few dots that do make sense and backtrack your way into a solution.
Oh boy.
Yeah, well,
That's
Ned,
the
let me put
stars,
it this
baby.
way.
I
Do you
love
like everybody? Do you like everybody on the football team you support, or just a couple of them?
You're right, Miles. You're right.
So
That's true.
So are there signs specifically that typically don't believe in astrology? Is there me
yeah.
and Ned? Oh, Geminis don't believe in this shit.
That makes sense.
Is that a thing?
I think it's a big thing, and I think that tends to go towards signs that are known for being very skeptical. Gemini, I would say, is not one of them, though, because people who are Geminis who like astrology are very into astrology. You'll hear people say or tweet, "Oh, I hate how Geminis are portrayed," or "That's such a myth about Geminis." But I have found in my personal experience, especially knowing y'all, that Geminis are very smart. So I think that Geminis who don't believe in astrology, God, this is going into the whole two-sided thing about Geminis, really hate astrology. I've never met people who really dislike astrology more than Geminis who don't believe
Then
it.
Ned.
Yeah, probably Ned.
Cool, man.
Ned might be the best
Cool.
example.
Okay, so should we move to somebody else's rising?
Yeah. So what's really interesting is Zach and Ned share a rising sign.
Bum, bum, bum.
Very
Are they rising
nice.
Geminis?
They're not twinning as twins. They are twinning as lions. They're both Leo rising.
Double Leo, motherfucker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which lions?
That totally checks out for Ned, I think.
Is that why in the early times of making Try Guys videos, some fans would call me Ned? Not because they didn't care the difference between us,
Right,
but
because
because
our
we're both
ascendant signs were the same and they got confused.
That makes sense.
That must be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach, I think it's not very common to have. I mean, there's a math equation there for how you can have a similar matching sun to ascendant, but that's much more rare than having different ones. So you are double Leo, baby.
I am stoked. So I don't care about astrology in the grand sense, but I actually am extremely proud to be a Leo. I come from a long line of Leos. My father and his father before him and his father before him. And actually, when we were growing up, my dad had a little Leo wooden statue that was his dad's above his sock drawer. It was just like a wooden carved lion wearing a king. And so as a kid, I was like, that's so cool. And he's like, that's you, my son. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
So there's
Wait,
a
so
month
what-
that cornfields
What month
fuck
does that
and
mean
not
your
outside of
parents
that.
had sex? Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, we're in the same
Leos
place.
aren't good
Wait
at
a
math,
minute.
so I can't tell you when. but,
What popular holiday did your parents fuck on to make Leos?
Thanksgiving.
July 7th. So.
Oh, that's actually a good. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
where?
Yeah, you
I always say I made that joke in a video before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking around the holidays.
You're somewhere
Yeah.
between Halloween and Thanksgiving, I think.
And you got
You're-
that.
I would
You
love
got
to be
that.
a
You got that
spooky
beach
guy.
house. You got that beach house, right? Summers in New
that
York.
beach house.
Going to the beach.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's why Leos, Virgos, you joke that they conceived during the holidays. And I think that's why there
see.
statistically might be more. Don't quote me on that, but I actually think there are more in those groups because people are born more then because people fuck during Christmas.
People be fucking during
People be
Christmas.
fucking during Christmas, man. Yeah.
Can't resist.
What else are you gonna do?
Wonderful time of the year.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby, it's cold outside.
I do
Now-
like that, each of these groups, it's sort of it's very divergent, insurgent, Hunger Games. You're sort of being grouped into a giver-esque category.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of the world, we all get into these camps. And that's fun for me.
Yeah, you get to be your own little fantasy superhero when you do astrology.
And when you read
Yeah.
those books, you can be like, well, I'm kind of like this, but then I have this personality of this, and maybe I think I would be placed here.
Yeah.
I'm
Which
very
Harry Potter
interested
house,
to
right?
hear the rest of mine because I did a quick Google search of Leo rising and it's you are seen as a happy and confident person, and I think that is what the audience assumes of me is that I'm just a happy, bubbly motherfucker, just giggling, pooping sunshine and lollipops all the time.
Yeah, I would say when I found out you were both Leo, sun and rising, Zach, it totally explained why you're such a cocky motherfucker.
It's not my fault. It's the stars.
Yeah, it's not your fault you were born this way, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Lady
You know,
Gaga
I
could
just
never.
Googled Gemini with Leo rising, and the first thing it says is they know how to manage other people, know how to help others put their best foot forward. Well, I mean, that's shit.
Makes
That's
sense.
true. That's
Oh,
true.
wait,
That
wait.
makes sense. Oh,
We're turning Ned into a believer by the end of this episode.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
what do you
I
think
mean,
about this?
My main deal is that people often use that as a substitute for science and math and, excuses to not care about that stuff as much. But, honestly, if you can believe in science and also be entertained by astrology, you're okay in my book.
Yeah.
It begins.
So,
I mean, I'm
whenever
still not,
everybody-
fully on board the crystals train, but I guess they're relatively harmless, I mean, why not spruce up your desk with some crystals?
Send your favorite astrology memes to Ned at Ned Fulmer on Twitter.
Comment below on this video if you're like, hey, I get you, Ned. I like science, but I also like astrology. I'll be like, respect.
I'd say the charging crystals makes the least sense to me. I don't really understand it. I don't know how your crystals get
sometimes
charged.
you need your feet rooted in the ground energy, the earth energy, to kind of start your day off the right foot. I want to be connected to the global earth energy.
I mean, I'm more believing in putting your feet on the ground could be good for you than you can charge crystals by putting them in designs on the floor. That, to me, is the most like that. What are you doing?
Well, see, that makes sense for you, Keith, because you are, I get a lot of cloud energy for you, so that means your head is in the clouds. So if you kind of just grounded yourself a bit more, you might be more of a songbird balance.
I hate being barefoot.
Really? Is it?
In general,
do you not like?
I love
Do you not
shoes.
like the feeling of your feet
I want to wear
on
shoes
the ground?
as soon as I wake up and get out of bed. Stocking shoes, baby. Let's go. Love it.
He likes the hug on his feet.
My feet are in impeccable shape. They're so soft and so beautiful because I keep them.
I'll tell you,
wrapped.
I've started being shoeless during quarantine, wearing my Birks around a lot more, and my feet, my soft, supple feet, have gotten calloused so quickly, and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
I feel like I've given up this beautiful trait of mine.
All right, back to the astrology.
And I'm going to bring back that barefoot comment later in this podcast. So
No fucking way.
it'll tie into something. So,
Listening.
So Miles, and here's the thing where this gets interesting is that, people are not only attracted to things that are complementary, but many times they associate with people with similar signs. Right now we already have Keith as a Capricorn rising. I'm a Capricorn. Ned and Zach share the same rising. Miles, your rising is Gemini.
Interesting.
What does that mean?
Now, I think that tracks.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Childish, fun, social.
Okay.
Is it that? So, Gemini or rising is what your true personality is, or what you present as?
Rising is your presentational personality.
Yeah, that's
that
definitely.
I think that
join me
tracks.
over on Twitch. We're having a great time over there.
Virgo, Sun, Gemini rising. One very smart person who is never short of innovative ideas.
Advice that will
That's
go
pretty
for
cool,
Miles. He's never short. He's got so many, and only like 30% are about eggs.
Only,
The other
only
70 are
30.
baths, but.
That's so fun. So I present myself how Keith and Ned are inside.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Well, you are Ned's
That's
son.
cool.
You are Ned's son, and we've said that you could be a Keith stand-in in videos. So
Absolutely.
That's true.
guys, we're believers. I'm on board.
Yeah, Try Guys has some heavy Gemini energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Now, what's really interesting is when you add Moon into the mix, because this is your like deep, intuitive, emotional side. Okay?
Get deep.
Wait,
okay.
before, Eugene, what's your sun, just so we know?
Oh yeah.
Rising, rather.
My sun is Capricorn and my
rising.
rising is Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, the ram. So both the goat, the sea goat and the ram, I'm a very stubborn, assertive person. Aries are known for being like tenacious, passionate, competitive, assertive, optimistic,
checks
and
out.
then their negatives are temperamental, reckless, aggressive, proud, impatient.
And I've heard you before, maybe in the astrology video, you spoke out against Aries in a pretty harsh way. Aries are very controversial, right?
No, I don't. I actually like Aries. My little sister's in Aries. I just think that they are they can sometimes get very single-minded. Like I compare them to the Kool-Aid Man. They just like walk into spaces, bursting through and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm here," with very little regard for other things. But there's a whole thing about how the chart, the 12 signs go through different, astrological influences from mythology to literature, and then also it represents age groups. So by 7 years, if you start at Aries, it's the age group 0 to 7. If you jump to something like Gemini, it's 14 to 21. So you're kind of like embodying that time of life. While as a Capricorn, I'm actually like embodying the age of retirement. I think everything is in decay. While if you're
So
a
you're saying that
Leo,
all toddlers are Aries? Because that makes sense.
Yeah, basically baby toddlers. They just have the feeling of
Aries
of a
energy.
child who's forming and just like ready to go. Everything is new.
When you said the Kool-Aid Man, I'd love for you to read the birth chart of like the Kool-Aid Man, Captain Crunch, like just sort of see
Chester
like
Cheeto.
That's a very
fantastical
funny video.
characters.
I should just
Guessing the birth charts.
chart all the stars for fictional characters.
Yeah, cereal mascots specifically, I'm very into.
So, moon signs. Here's where things get a
barefoot
little interesting. Well, no, the barefoot thing will tie into Miles, but I can see why you don't like being barefoot. You, Keith, your moon is actually Aries.
Which I need reminders
So
constantly.
deep down,
So,
You get triggered. All of your shell falls away, and you get really mad at people.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's what we call Daddy Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is when
you're-
I have been wronged by someone somewhere, and I tell them exactly how they wronged me and how horrible of a person they are.
It's rare, but it
Keith will
happens. Yeah.
fight people on Facebook just because he sees that they're wrong. And I'm like,
Yeah.
never in a million years would I waste my energy fighting somebody random on Facebook. But Keith is like, I changed one person's mind today.
Do you like puzzles? Do you like little bugs? Well, this is the game for you. You guys have heard us talk about it before. We're talking about it again. Best Fiends is the app game you just need on your phone. It's free to download. It's a good puzzle game.
it's really cool, and there's a lot of amazing fun characters you can play. My personal favorite is, of course, Terry. He is a busted-looking tarantula. I mean, you got to look him up. He is only a mother could love that face, but I love him too.
There's over 100 million downloads. It's a 5-star rated mobile puzzle game. There are more levels and challenges added all the time, so it's sort of like an infinite game. And once you download Best Fiends, you're not going to be bored anymore. You're going to always have something that helps cut through that boredom, and there's a lot of boredom nowadays. So just go ahead and download Best Fiends free today on the Apple App Store or on Google Play, and that's Fiends, which is friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Yeah.
But Keith, it can be very assertive and confrontational when he believes there is a wrong that has been dealt in public too. He will be the first to stand up to a passerby who's being awful to someone. Keith is that's where I think the Capricorn Aries energy comes in. He really is just like, nah, here's my assertive self. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel, and fuck you. Right? That's the kind of like. That's, I think, the moon Aries really playing into Keith's life.
That's true. But I don't like injustices, small or large. But yeah, specifically, I think that I think especially Eugene has seen it the most when we've been at various like marches or rallies, and there's like really horrible counter protesters. I will
you go
waste
off.
no fucking time going over to them and engaging.
Yeah, there's the classic like don't feed the trolls. Keith attacks the trolls. He
Yeah.
just goes swinging his battle axe, and he just gets right up in there.
And that's a great example. Like Aries are very temperamental. They're hot. They get quick to anger, and it's something you would not expect from Keith with his Gemini sign. But if you think
it's
of his
kinda like
moon
Dungeons
sign,
and Dragons. It's like our alignment charts.
Yeah, it is kind of like
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm back on board now.
Dungeons and Dragons is kind of like
continues.
astrology.
Yeah.
like that's kind of the
you're
thing.
losing me.
Astrology is very old. Yeah.
Probably did
Astrology is
take it.
super old. Yeah, if you think about it, it's like fantasy. Someone at some point looked at the stars and was like, you know, it'd be really fun, a classification system that equally divides the world population into 12 groups.
Is our moon signs the based on location? Is that like what that criteria is?
Yeah, so that's also needs your birth time and location.
So it's because I was in
Same with
Tennessee
Ascendant.
that time.
And Eugene, I'm guessing that moon sign is not like if you were born at 6 a.m. on January 3rd, every year you have the same moon sign. No, because the moon is in different places depending on year,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
cool.
always different.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, look, the
fascinating.
moon, think about what the moon does to the ocean. The moon has crazy effects. We think that we're above that. We're what, 90% water? We think that where the gravitational pull's not affecting our insides. I'm on board.
The moon is a big rock, and it does
The
stuff.
big rock does
I will
stuff.
say the one I do kind of think could be is like your main sign, because based on where you are born in the year, it can change your personality. For example, sports teams that have a cutoff in August. Any kid that's born in July is gonna generally feel kind of puny because they're never gonna be the oldest in their grade when it comes to sports. Have you seen that thing where most NHL players are born in like September or something?
Oh, because they're a whole year bigger than the rest of the players.
Yeah, exactly. And then
they
they appear to be better on the field, so they like playing hockey more. And then they get more coaching and more resources. And then they become even better. They go to summer camps, they become even better. And then all of a sudden, just because it's really more arbitrarily of where the youth hockey leagues set their age cutoff date, but it also relates to your birth month, right? Then all of a sudden, all of the professional hockey players were born in September.
School is another great example of that. Like, school has the same kind of cutoff in the fall of how old you are, and that will totally shape, like, are you 5 or are you almost 6 when you're learning, like, the alphabet with a group of kids, right? Your comprehension, your brain is more developed. You might be frustrated by the people around you, which might make you more frustrated in general. It does. I think you're right, Ned, that like, I think the main sign just when you're born has a pretty big effect on how your personality develops. And then also where you are.
We'll save it for Ned's evolutionary psychology episode. Now back to the astrology.
Well, first of all, how dare you turn my astrology into a sports conversation? But I think that was actually very insightful and really interesting, the nurture aspect. I mean, all Capricorns are basically born around winter vacation and Christmas. That's why we're all so fucking pissy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because your birthday
is
always superseded by the holiday.
And in the middle of winter, woof, that's why we're so cynical. God.
And Leos grow up having their birthday with everyone away at summer camp or on family vacation.
Yeah.
So it's like, where's my fucking party?
Same with
Whereas
Geminis.
me and Keith, your birthday is last day of classes, girl.
Not in Tennessee. Tennessee classes are done in early May.
I guess you have a late June birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some things that deal with the seasons, how the seasons affect the birthdays as well, or the signs as well, because they're the way that they divide the zodiac is in quadrants. So, it goes fire, earth, air, water, and it does that 4 times. So it's basically like the seasons as well.
All right, here's an experiment we need to run. Unethical, perhaps. Awesome, absolutely. We break into a hospital. We steal a bunch of babies, and we tell them that they're different birthdays.
Right.
We just tell them that their birthdays are opposite, and we observe them for 30 years, and then we say, surprise, motherfucker, and we rock their world.
Gotcha, bitch.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually it's not a study. It's called Gotcha Bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
It's a reality show. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we
it's a
find
30-year
out
reality
that
show.
all along their true astrological signs were actually correct, and we've ruined their lives. And then we're like, I'm so sorry. What's the moon signs?
So for Ned, what's really interesting, and this is going to be very interesting for Zach as well. You again both share the same sign.
That's why in the genetics video we were supposed to be lovers on a desert island together.
Both of your moon signs is Virgo.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
That is more like hardworking, critical, logical, overthinking, worrying, perfectionist, independent, very critically minded. So the opposite of childish glee and arrogance.
That, I mean, while you're thinking about it, Ned, that absolutely checks out for me. I think outwardly I'm a very bubbly, happy person, but internally I am a self-critical perfectionist to a fault. I will always find something that I want to improve in my work and myself, and I think that clouds me from self-appreciation sometimes.
I guess that's
Deep.
I do
Deep,
that
Zach.
too.
Yeah. I like that.
And that's absolutely it's been one of the driving emotional components of my life. It was something that was really quite heavy over me in childhood, and I've tried to overcome it. I think it's work I'm gonna have to continue to do for a long time.
Yeah, I would say that knowing both of you, I would have guessed meeting you that you had some sort of earth or water quality somewhere in your key signs.
Can I share one thing that's very funny is I was Googling about Leo rising, and one of the first Google autofills is, are Leos attractive? Leo rising natives are usually broad-shouldered. And I'm like, yeah, checks out.
I mean,
Am I hot?
I get so is Virgo like analytical? Because like I'm always like kind of analyzing my actions and decisions to optimize for doing the best thing. Like you know, even when I'm doing like a gut impulse, I still want to be pretty sure it's the correct gut impulse. And you know, I generally don't like gut impulse decisions except when I'm partying.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen you like do some pretty gut.
But you know, when it comes to like
decisions.
larger business, personal life decisions, I'll do a pro-con chart. I'll do like a little spreadsheet analysis.
Yeah, that's a perfectionist move right there. I've never made a pro-con chart for a real decision before. Only for like dumb decisions.
When I go to a restaurant, and unless it's like a diner menu, but if it's a reasonable menu, I'll read every single thing on the menu, so I pick like exactly what I want to eat.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I mean,
That's
Google is
so
telling me
fun.
Virgos are logical, practical, and systematic. Ned, do you like Excel spreadsheets?
I do.
Now,
Yes.
Now, Ned, here's a scenario. If I were to take you to a very, very expensive restaurant and I said, I'll buy you whatever you want, does your desire become then influenced to get a good value and something you want to eat? Like if you really want carnitas and they're $23, but you could have the hanger steak for $33 and I'm paying for it, will that make you get the hanger steak?
So Keith, it changes when I go to an expensive restaurant. At an expensive restaurant, I just want them to serve me whatever they think is the best.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't
very
want to.
nice.
I don't want to optimize because they've already done it for me. They
That's
clearly
true.
know what they're doing.
The trust, yeah.
If anyone has a prefix menu or an omakase or anything where it's just all set out for me, I'll just have it the way it had. I'll order it the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not a big modifications guy. I have wide dietary tastes. I just want it the way you want it.
Eugene, I have a question about something that Ned said. He made a joke about his drunk persona. Is there a drunk rising? Like, when you like break down the defense walls, this is the planet that rises.
Wouldn't that be your?
You know,
mood,
I should write a book for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
call it
just
like-
Yeah, the
the
drunk
dark
astrology.
side of the moon rising.
You're drunk and high risings. Yeah, I mean, probably. I would assume that the drunk side of you just exacerbates certain signs like your rising or your moon or your Mercury, Venus, or Mars. Like there's also other aspects to you in this core group of constellations and celestial bodies that give you like a distinct personality. But yeah, I think that maybe that could be something funny as a joke.
I do think a book called Drunk Moon Rising is something that people would want. I think that's good.
So, Miles, your moon is actually in Taurus.
Taurus!
Okay, and what does that mean? Then this is the emotional side, right?
Yeah, so this is your emotional, like internal side, and that's Tauruses are known for being, it's an earth sign, so similar to Virgo. And they're known for being practical, trustworthy, tenacious, honest. They're great at relaxing.
Oh, butter me up, Eugene.
Mr. Bathtub himself.
That is me in the tub.
They love making a nice, cozy home space. And I guess on the negative side, they can be possessive, hard-headed, blunt,
Okay.
irritable, gluttonous.
Easy.
But I was only connecting Taurus to I call the sign the barefoot contessas because they're very earthy, you know, so they're very beauty oriented, and as opposed to Keith, the proclivities of Taurus, I see a lot of Tauruses enjoying their feet in the sand, or I guess growing up in a shoeless school like you.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Absolutely. And I love treats.
It seemed like the word gluttonous resonated with you. What is your most gluttonous moment? I've never really thought of you as a glutton, and I want to know when have you really been a dirty little glutton?
I mean, I've said this before, but I have ice cream and beer almost every single night. So like
Wait, every night
Together combined.
yeah, I have like an ice cream and a beer, and it's like it's not like one scoop. It's like 3 scoops of ice cream.
Dang.
But like, you know what I mean? Like I'm going for it pretty hard. 24/7, 365. Also, like when I make food, I try to make it like I don't know. I either believe that like I want to have like rice and vegetables, or like I'm gonna make pasta. It's gonna have salt and butter in it. It's gonna have fucking good, like, you know, fatty shit. It's gonna give me a heart attack.
But Miles, that's just normal. You're saying pasta with salt and butter in it is gluttonous? Oh no!
I'm saying
Coming
that like
from a glutton, you don't sound that gluttonous to me. To me,
outside of the ice cream
gluttonous
and beer every night.
is
Well,
there's
coming
still
from a
food.
hot, broad-shouldered Leo, you sound gluttonous as fuck.
right. I would say I just like I kind of go for, if I have a want, I usually do that.
Bag me up on this. You go to the grocery store, you get all the things you need, and then you get in your car and you're halfway home and you forgot hot dogs, or you forgot bread, or you forgot eggs. For all of you who are eggless or snackless in your life, you can actually get snacks, drinks, and household essentials delivered in 30 minutes with DoorDash.
Ordering's easy. You open the DoorDash app, choose what you want from where you want, and your items will be left safely outside your door with the contactless delivery drop-off setting.
And there's over 300,000 partners in the US, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia, so you can support your neighborhood go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Popeyes, you know I love it, Chipotle, Cheesecake Factory.
For a limited time, you guys can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code TryPod.
That's 25% off, up to a $10 value, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code TryPod.
Don't forget, that's code TryPod for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
I definitely, especially now, any want that I have that I can have, I get it.
Yeah,
Because
I try
there's so
to
many
go
things
for it.
so many wants that I can't have. So this whole Pokemon phase I'm in is because that's a thing I can have. No one can stop me from looking at pictures of things I can't pronounce. That's fucking mine now, baby.
Yeah, I also say like I don't know, gluttonous seems like a strictly food word, but in terms of just excess, I like have
take
a lot
a
of
bath every
hobbies.
day. That is
I
excess.
take a bath.
Yeah, that's gluttonous.
I have baths often. Like I'm really into mechanical keyboards, and I keep like buying expensive artisan keycaps, and it's just they don't even ship till fucking next year, and I'm getting them. So it's really like I think that's I really am into treating myself in a way that is excessive.
Yeah, you do have that $100 thermo mug.
Oh shit, hell yeah, dude.
That
the Ember
is
mug.
gluttony.
Use coupon code. No, I wish I had a sponsorship with the Ember mug. Jeez.
Did you see that quote or that tweet that was like, every girl in quarantine is on their couch with a MacBook Air and a cup of tea, and every guy in quarantine work from home has a 3-monitor setup with the loudest clickety-clack keyboard in the world.
I resonated with that hard because it's really to the nth degree. I've got DSLR camera, 2 monitors, speakers, audio mixer, PS5, fucking 2 keyboards on my desk.
I'm jealous. I want you to come over and redo this hazardous workstation.
I would be honored.
Eugene, I'm dying to know, round out your puzzle.
Well, I should add that, stereotypically, things like earth and water signs, it's not across the board, but many of them are more adept to handle things like the pandemic because they can be less reliant on social situations and attention. And fire and air signs tend to crave being in social settings.
I would say Miles is thriving in the pandemic, and I am with the ring.
Yeah, I'm
In his bathtub, just being a nice little Virgo Taurus boy.
Yeah.
Look at this adorable office he's redecorated. He's got a better setup than anyone at the company.
Yeah, I love those lights.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I do like to nest. I am very extroverted, but I definitely I am into the home setup. I'm also into, in the same Ned, you were talking about min-maxing. I'm into maximizing anything I have. I mean, the e-mug is one example, but the keyboard is another. Like, if I'm going to have a keyboard, I want it to be the best. I want to get artisan fucking shit.
You know, there's satisficers and there's maximizers out there. Me and Miles, we maximizer boys. You know, satisficers is just like, I'll take whatever's like the first thing that's good enough. And me and Miles are like, I'll stay up all night reading reviews on cnet.com.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And then Keith and I go, hey, Ned, what TV should I buy? And
I say, well, this one on our Tings is pretty good, but given your space size constraints, you're going to want to go with this one.
I'll tell you, one of the biggest mistakes I ever made was Ned accidentally bought 2 sound systems and was going to sell me one of them, but instead of returning it, and I passed on it. And now I'm like, what was I thinking? Ned probably did so much work to pick out the best sound system at the best price, and I should have just bought it. And I'm so stupid. I had you
on Black Friday prices too.
I know.
Oh,
that deal.
And it was like a whole surround sound system. It was like a whole set, and I was an idiot.
I don't even know how I bought 2 of them, but I think I just double clicked.
I don't want to run out of time because I think at the end there's a fun review of all these we can do. So Eugene, what's your sign?
So my moon sign is Scorpio, which is the only water sign present in any of the things we just listed.
Wow.
And Scorpios are determined, intuitive, sexual, intelligent, strong-minded,
but I wouldn't
and
say you're
resourceful.
secretly sexual.
Well, Scorpios aren't necessarily sexual. They're just in touch with understanding their sensuality. So not all of them are overtly sexual. It's just this I don't know. They just know how they are as sexual beings, which I think is, or non-sexual beings. It's they just understand their sexuality pretty implicitly. Yeah.
Sense-based things.
And then on the dark side, they can be obstinate or manipulative, destructive, polarizing, and resentful. So, combining all of those, I have a little game. So, Miles has come up with 10 different questions. And after he poses the question, all of you are going to answer who you think it is just based on knowing each other. And then I'll tell you, without having known you guys, who I would assign that to based on those 3 star signs.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! Welcome to the Second Try Arena. It is time to guess that sign. So we're going to give you a question, a scenario, a situation, and you're going to guess which one of your peers and or co-owners is going to be that sign. First up, we've got who is going to die first in a horror movie?
Oh.
I mean, based on a horror movie, I'm like the Jamie Kennedy, so I stick around for a while and somehow make it out. You know, actually, I think Keith is the first to die.
I was going to say
he's
me.
The beautiful.
I'm hot, slutty, and fun.
Yeah, I was
going to
say that too.
Based on the signs, I would have guessed that Zach would die first.
Oh, no!
Because the Leo, charges outside and plays with the cursed doll.
I think the double Leo would be too confident and oblivious and would probably just end up falling off a cliff. And your Geminis save you because Geminis are very clever.
Dude, that's awesome. I've always wanted to have a very bombastic horror movie death, and the first death in a movie is one of the best, so I'm all for that.
Sometimes it's the cold open, not even related to the rest of the cast. It's fun.
Yeah.
Next question. If stranded at sea, who will eat the human meat of a crewmate to stay alive?
I'm going to guess Keith for everything.
I'm going to guess Eugene.
I feel like Eugene, cold sort of that what you're talking about, the cold analytical thing.
Yeah.
I think.
But if you're saying cold
Eugene
analytical,
too.
Maybe it's Ned. He's practically speaking, we need this many calories a day. Keith has the most body weight, and I need to survive to see my baby boy.
Yeah.
So
Right.
It's possible.
True, in terms of body weight versus,
And Miles is a glutton. You know he's eating up dead bodies.
Hell yeah, man. Put a little salt and sauce on there.
I would say, based on the signs, I would have guessed Keith or Eugene.
Oh, okay.
We
Makes
both
sense.
have a Capricorn Aries energy. Both, I think, would resort willingly to eating another person to survive. I might have the edge as the Scorpio moon who would do it with glee.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. And if that means eating somebody, they're already dead.
That's right. They're already dead.
They're already dead.
Watch out! Don't go on vacation with us on a cruise ship because
Yeah.
Keith and I are ravenous.
We'll eat you.
You're eating people.
We'll eat you.
All right, next question on Guess That Sign. It's who's the best at
Okay, based on the sign, I think an ass is going to be someone who's fun and outgoing,
Yeah.
but also very practical. You need to know the angles.
Right.
Therefore,
So
I'm
like
going to
me,
say
right?
Ned.
I think Miles,
Yeah.
the glutton.
Oh, thanks.
He likes
Yeah.
relaxation.
That's true.
He likes to nest. He likes to stay together.
I was gonna say Miles, but I didn't want an HR violation, and the whole thing kind of made me uncomfortable. So I'll just
Yeah,
say me.
for sure. That's good. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think Ned probably, but again, don't want to violate the HR thing.
You know, I would say weirdly either Miles or Ned based on the signs.
Whoa!
Some people might say
boys.
some people might say me because of the Scorpio thing, but I think Scorpios and Capricorns actually have very like distinct tastes, and if they don't want to do it, they wouldn't.
Right,
And I
if
think
it's not the right sort of.
yeah,
Yeah, I get
exactly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a couple more questions here. Who would make a really good serial killer?
Oh, well, what I know about us as people.
I would say Eugene.
I think Eugene, but maybe that's like a red herring.
I don't
Yeah,
think I don't think it is.
Here's the problem: is that I really, in classic Leo fashion, only remember the traits that I had, and I happen to share those with Ned. So my mind just keeps going to Ned because I remember the stuff that he is. But serial killer is organized.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but we're
Efficient?
also kind of gentle. I don't know.
Well, it's
But
got to
you
be
know-
one of the Geminis, right? Because a serial killer, in order to kill someone more
You have
than
to
once,
charm people. That's
you
true.
have to also be a fully functioning, sociopath type psychopath human. So
True. Anyone can
Geminis
kill.
are that, right? You're two-faced, right?
So actually, there have been studies on this before, and they've actually quantified the number of serial killers based on birth. And they found that mutable signs are most common in serial killers. So signs have qualities, which is cardinal, fixed, or mutable. And the 4 mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Therefore, statistically, Miles and Ned would be most likely to be serial killers.
Watch
Watch out for Miles.
Watch me out for me.
Okay.
It's in taking names, baby.
I feel like I have to bleep again, but maybe not. Okay.
This is fun.
All right. This is one last question for us here. Who would survive in the wild jungle of a deserted island?
My no knowledge of the horoscope side would just say Eugene, and then also Ned, I think, would manage pretty well.
Eugene's too stubborn to die on an island. That's my hunch.
I would guess Eugene. Although the one time we were out in the woods, you covered yourself in mud and got leeches all over your body,
Oh God, that's right. Yeah.
which
That's a
wasn't
story
a
for another
necessary
time.
action.
But it was cool.
Good photo,
It was
though.
a crazy moment.
Good
Yeah,
content.
good stuff.
Great.
So
content.
I think the survival tactics on desert island involve like resourcefulness and being able to, think critically about things. And I think that actually, and being like confident doing it, go-getter. And so based on the signs, I would have guessed either myself or Keith, because of the Aries and Gemini elements. I would actually give it more to Keith slightly, because I just think that, well, one, Capricorns wouldn't get lost on an island to begin with. So that's kind of the joke there. I think Scorpios would be too pissed on the island and not want to do something if they don't feel like it. So I would actually say Keith would be the one to survive.
I would not only survive, I'd build a small bowling game to keep myself entertained. I'm sure. Sounds like me.
And I'll just be staring into a pond of my own reflection, I guess. That was fun. I really enjoyed that. And you know what? I think we have somewhat of a skeptical look on astrology, but we frankly haven't really taken much of the time to dive into it. And that was very fun and quite insightful.
I'm back on board. Thanks, Eugene.
Are you really back on board, Ned?
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
Bald-faced lie.
It was Ned was looking for a freeze frame out in that moment. Like it was a sitcom. It's like, and
Ned, listen, this is not a YouTube video. You don't have to button this up as a pretty package. You don't have to say I believe in astrology now. You are more than welcome to speak your mind.
I enjoyed the time we spent together. But if you want to hear my real feelings, you're going to have to join us over on patreon.com/tryguys for the afterpod. And I'll tell Eugene how I really feel now because Miles has given us the wrap up symbol.
Yeah.
I need to share that I Googled Leo Sun, Leo Rising, Virgo Moon. And the name of my sign combination is the Neurotic Lion, which I'm like, oh my God, all right, I believe in this. I'm going to get tattoos all over my body. Wow. I subscribe to this for life. Nothing has ever seen me more accurately.
Wow, that is true. And in the afterpad, I will be opening up one more pack of Pokemon cards. We struck gold last week. We gotta strike again, baby. Check us out over there. But... you know, we might need some advice. Maybe maybe the horoscopes isn't enough for you. It doesn't give you enough guidance. Well, thank goodness that we have an amazing guidance counselor right here among us. And his name is Miles Bonsignore with my advice that will go for Miles.
It's advice that'll go for Miles. Tune it to your radio station. It's advice that'll go for Miles. Everyone get ready, Miles Nation. Miles Nation, go! It's advice that'll go for Miles. Advice that'll go for Miles.
What's up, Miles Nation? How we doing tonight? Woo. Have you ever wanted to guzzle down something thick?
Oh no.
Milkshakes.
Have you ever wanted a crunchy little crispy, but my Friggy's broken?
McFlurries.
Milkshake with little cookies in them. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Food doesn't have to be in your house anymore.
Drive-thru.
Okay? We're not living in the Stone Age. We're living in the Bone Age.
All right.
So, what you're gonna want to do is get cake delivered. Scooby? What you're gonna want to do is have a little treat delivered to your house. Dessert is for the people, but baking is for people to do at the store.
Oh, okay.
I ordered a slice of cake and it was expensive. And I guzzled that shit down. It was from Milk Bar. Huge fucking shout out. The best cake in the land. The best cake in the land. And I had it delivered and it was great. And I had it and it was a treat that I enjoyed. And the problem was that it was expensive. But the problem was not that I wanted a treat and I didn't have to leave my house. Delivery, people, wake up!
I gotta slam Milk Bar real quick for 1 second. This past summer, Milk Bar wrote to me and said, "Hey Keith, we see your birthday's coming up. We would love to gift you a cake." And I was like, "That's very nice, sure." And then I sent them the address to send the cake to. My birthday comes and goes. I get no cake. I follow up a week later with, "So you just decided not to give the cake?" And then they didn't respond. They just said they were going to give me a cake, and they never fucking did. I told them what I wanted. I told them what time I'd be home to get it, and they just didn't. And then I was like, what the fuck? Why did you tell?
Do you see, this is, Daddy Keith is coming out.
I didn't buy the cake because I was told I was getting a cake. So now I had no cake because I thought I was getting a cake.
That's so weird.
Why did they even do that to me? Why would they we're gonna give you cake, and then
Gotcha,
just ghosted
bitch.
me? It was like a weird prank.
They pranked you. You got pranked by Milk Bar.
Yeah, it was. I was upset. So if anybody is listening or knows somebody at Milk Bar, let them know. Keith Habersberger hates them.
Whoa.
Basically ruined your birthday.
It kind of
Yeah.
did.
And they can make it better by sending me a cake.
Yeah. Send all Keith replacement cakes to Miles.
That's right. That's very good. But yeah, anyway, delivery, I don't know. Fucking, it's a pandemic. I'm not doing anything. So I ordered cake.
That is
Sue me.
gluttonous. That's absolutely
it's
gluttonous right there.
It's
ordering
gluttonous,
delivery.
yeah.
You know what,
cake
Miles?
from a dense place like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
You deserve some cake, man. Good for you.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's nice.
That was great advice. Nothing more to say about that, huh?
Nope.
We did it.
No. Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. Guys, that was a great episode. Super fun. Thank you, Eugene, for bringing us a little dose of astrology.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Oh,
to
yeah.
all the signs I didn't get to talk about because weirdly we only basically cover about 5 signs between the 5 of us,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
which is statistically crazy. Aside from the Taurus and the Scorpio, everyone shares something across, which is maybe why we're friends.
It was written in the stars.
Wow.
Our friendship was forged by the Big Bang itself.
Pretty cool.
Beautiful.
You know, we are all stars. The matter that always has existed in the universe flows through all of us. We are the same. Isn't
That's
that
how
fun?
the
right.
crystals get charged.
That's
That's how it
true.
happens. Well,
Well-
guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, get the merch, and of course, go give some love to Guilty Pleasures, our new podcast about pop culture. These boys will be on it in the coming weeks. We've got the Bridgerton episode dropping on Monday, and it is a frickin' hoot. Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
Gemini, Virgos, Scorpios, Leos, Tauros, other ones. They're all really fun and they have different personalities. It depends where you were born and when you were born and why you were born and how you were born and where Mars was in the sky when you were born. It's the TryPod. Until next time, stay beautiful.